Hey everybody, thanks for joining me on my YouTube video. I am going to be showing you today a MajorDomo Mage Grinder deck that I've been using to grind the ladder in the last few days of the season. We've got about 8 days left, I believe. Yeah, 8 days. And this deck actually has come in quite handy, and it is very useful because I have won in so many extreme situations it's not even funny. So I'm going to show you how to play this, and I'm going to show you exactly what is in this deck. So first, I'm going to go to show you the deck itself. As you can tell, I kind of like playing mage decks, just a little bit. Alright, now, in this deck, we have 2 Frostbolts, 2 Explosive Sheep, 2 Mad Scientist, 2 Arcane Intellect, 2 Duplicates, 2 Iceblocks, 1 BGH, which is Big Game Hunter, 2 Illuminators, 2 Fireballs, 2 Polymorphs, 2 Ancient Healbots, 2 Sledge Belchers, Emperor Tharusian, Black Knight. Now, the only reason why I have Black Knight in this deck is because I do not have Sylvanas Windrunner. So this is, in my opinion, one of the next best things to where at least I can take a tank out, especially if it's a high tank with a bubble. 2 Flamestrikes, Ragnaros the Firelord, Alexstrasza, which can be used offensively or defensively, mind you, and Mage-r-domo Executus. Now, the entire premise of this deck completely revolves around the fact of you having Mad Scientists, Duplicates, and Iceblocks. You have 2 Iceblocks for a reason. What you want to try to do when you mulligan is you want to try to get Explosive Sheep and Mad Scientist in your hand. Anything else, you can mulligan. Getting a Frostbolt's nice as well because it's an early board clear. Anything else, though, really isn't that impressive to have in your opening hand. You need to have something to work with. On turn 1, if you have a coin, if you're going second, I coin into Mad Scientist if you have one. Get him on the board, he might be able to do 2 damage early before he's killed to then put a secret in play. Now, what you have to be careful about when this Mad Scientist does get killed is make sure that you know which of these 2 secrets was activated and put in. Now, the reason I say that is because you only want to use the duplicate. Only want to use this if you're going to have an Illuminator, which is if you control a secret at the end of your turn, restore 4 health to your hero, or if you have an Antique Healbot on the far left or it's going to be killed. Now, the best scenario that you can go in for this is to actually only have that minion on the board. That way you know that is the only board that's going to be cleared. If you do play a mage or a shaman, you do run the risk of it being frogged or polymorphed, and when it dies, you actually get the sheep. You don't get what the card was before. So keep that in mind when you play mages and you play shaman. So this whole deck is built around these 2 secrets right here. Basically, you have a lot of life-saving abilities and healing that you can throw out. And you have board clears with Explosive Sheep and 2 Flamestrikes. Now, I've also won games by doing duplicates of Sledge Belcher, and it actually did save me a game once, but I was in a bind to where I had too many cards in my hand, and I was going to start burning cards, and you don't want to burn cards, because every card in this deck is very important. So, let's go ahead and we'll get into this, and I'll show you how this deck is played. I'm not going to play ladder. Oh, wrong way. I'm going to actually just play casual. I am rank 15 though. I got the rank 14 yesterday, and then I lost a match. It's the lowest I've ever been. So we'll go ahead and we'll queue up here. So it is very important to try to get the mulligan correct every time that you have the ability to do that. It is a life or death situation with this deck. There are definitely bad hands.
Medivh! versus Gul'dan.
Your souls shall be mine! Let the games begin.
This draw is terrible. Now you want to try to get rid of the secrets too, just in the event that you're going to get a Mad Professor or Mad Scientist or whatever that was. So all of these cards are mulligans. Well, that's promising at least. That's about the only thing. This is really a terrible draw. So, we'll see how this works. Perfect. Right out of the gate, he's going to drop that. Well, you know what? That is completely moot. Because you just lost 3 health and a minion. You definitely want to play 4 board control with this deck. You want to control the board yourself. Now, since I do have Alexstrasza in my hand, my play for turn 9 is going to be to hit him with Alexstrasza. Oh, there we go. Here's one of them. We'll put the Mad Scientist in play, and we'll find out what comes of this. Hopefully I can kill this knife juggler with it.
Why do you call?
This is going to be a very tough match. Okay, so my decision here is going to be to do this. At least it didn't kill my guy, and he's probably going to Mortal Coil it. Would be my guess, to get a card and kill that character. It does put a secret in play for me. He's probably going to do 6 damage to my face. That would be the smart way to play it. Oh, okay, well, this is where we're going to go ahead and we're taking this out. And we're going to do 1 damage to this so I can kill it next round. Now, the secret that I got is duplicate, so I have to be very careful about what I throw down. Because the next minion that dies is going to be duplicated twice into my hand. Well, he knows it's going to die, so he's going to give it a buff, and he's going to go ahead and go for it here. Which I don't blame him at all. Turn 6, I'm probably going to drop Thorusian. I've had trouble with this deck with Hunters and Warlocks, specifically aggro of both. To where they do have board clears, but they're also aggro. And I'm not sure why he threw that out there. Probably just a bait so he doesn't take another damage. And I'm gonna have to kill that. Well, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna see what he's gonna do. We're gonna get some help from the Ancient Healbot. And remember, we have duplicate up. So if he kills the duplicate, it's gonna give me 2 Ancient Healbots in my hand. That's his plan. And he probably didn't like that decision after he looked into that. It was a good play for him, though.
Give me a quest.
Not knowing what I have or don't have.
Why do you call?
Regardless of what happens this next round, I'm going to have to use a board clear. I'm going to have to use a Flamestrike. I do not want that card getting any more powerful than it already is. I didn't get the value that I wanted to out of that Flamestrike, but sometimes you just do not have a chance. Or a choice. Now, I'm going to BGH him. Actually, what I'll do first, I'll do this. I'll take the damage.
I've got the beast in my sight.
That way I keep a 4-2 on the board. I'll take the face damage for it. And it's not too much of a problem. I have 3 of these in my hand right now, currently, plus 2 Illuminators still in the deck. There's one of his Shadow Bolts.
Your turn now.
Oh, he lost his other Shadow Bolt, so he no longer has any Shadow Bolts in his hand. So that's very interesting. I am now going to keep Alexstrasza for defensive purposes, not offensive purposes, because he's down to 13 health. There would be no reason at all to throw that out there. Now, I am going to bait him a little bit here by playing this and this.
Embrace the light.
He's going to feel that he has to kill that card because it is going to continue to heal me. But once he kills it, I'm going to get 2 copies of it in my hand. At that point, I've pretty much won because I can heal myself back up to 30. Oh, he's just going to go face. That works too. We can do that. See, now with this, it's going to make it kind of tricky.
Truth is my shield.
That's why I have the Black Knight in this deck. Exactly why. So what we're going to do is we're going to go the easy path here. We're going to kill this. We're going to kill this.
The light shines.
And we'll kill that.
Job's
Next round.
done.
And get 4 more health. This deck can work for you, and it's not hard to get it to have it to work for you. But the hard part about that is sometimes when you have to lay a card down that you're not expecting, like this. Well, at least he didn't kill it. Because if he were to kill it, I would have gotten 2 copies of that instead. And I prefer to have 2 copies of this.
Do I have to?
So, what we're going to do now is we're going to board clear.
The light shines.
And I didn't get a copy. For whatever reason, I don't know if it's a bug. I need to look into it. But when you attack the die and it's not somebody killing yours, it doesn't proc that, and I'm not sure why.
Job's done.
And I win next round regardless. Because I've got 5 damage on the board unless he can clear this. I've got... Well, that'll do it. I definitely want to play this. And I definitely want to play this. And I definitely want to do this. And then I can keep him off my butt for 2 more rounds. Maybe.
For a little while, I pack a big punch.
Hopefully Ragnaros hits Deathwing. Thank you, dear Lord. Now I just have to deal with this. That was just luck. And he knows he's dead.
You win this time.
So, as you can see, I still had 16 health in my hand, Plus, if I got low enough, I can use Alexstrasza to myself to give myself back up to 15. I still had Thaurosan in my hand, and I had 2 Black Knights in case he did toss something down, which that was completely not the way it was intended to be played, but that's sometimes how it is. Plus, I had another Mad Scientist in my hand to be able to put another Iceblock up in my deck. And we'll go ahead and we'll play another match so you can see this. I thank you for tuning into the YouTube video. Try to do these more often for everyone so they can understand what I'm playing and how it's working for me.
Medivh versus Garrosh.
Ooh, another bad draw.
Games begin.
And I go first, so I only get 3 cards this time. I'm all again, all 3 of those puppies. And at least I have the Antique Healbot. If I fall behind early, I can use it. Although I don't like using those without having something up. Now, I'll probably use this on turn 3. The reason for it is because if I don't draw Mad Scientist next round, it's not going to help. So at least I know that I have this up and it's not going to linger. So if that does happen to you to where you're not getting Mad Scientists, definitely throw up your Iceblock if you have it in hand as soon as you can throw it up. That way you don't have to worry about that losing 3 mana when you're down to 15 health. And you have to play another combination of cards which requires you to use all of your mana at like maybe turn 8. And I'll gladly let him take face to that. Get that played. I like to play quick turns. I seem to be waiting a lot on people.
X marks the spot.
I feel icky.
That's dying next. I can tell you that for sure. Actually, they're both dying next. This there. This there. And that's how you do that. I'm going to save BGH because he's bound to have something in here that's going to be stronger than that. Turn 9, I'm looking to turn him at 15 health. Already pre-planning. Turn 5, I'm probably going to drop this. He's going to be able to kill it, but he's going to take 3 damage in the process, and I'm also going to kill that mob. So we're going to throw a taunt out there. Let's see what he does. He may not even attack, he may have something in his hand to do 2 damage.
What's now?
Ooh, there you go. 5 right off the bat, so you don't have to worry about it. And he's going to kill the second one with that. That's a very smart move on his part. Good usage. Now, I'm going to be dipping pretty low here pretty soon. And I'm kind of worried about that. And I really don't have a play here. Not at all. I mean, I guess I could throw this out and this out in hopes that that gets tripped. Next round it's going to be tripped anyway because I will attack one of them. Because he has no way to negate that at all. He can only kill it and know he's going to lose 2 guys after he does 3 damage. At this point, I'm probably going to drop an Ancient Healbot next round. After I kill his 2 and my bot. My botty. We're going to be on turn 7, so I've got 2 more rounds before I can play Alexstrasza. And that's definitely going to put him on the defensive once he sees that. And he wanted to control it himself. And that's fine. Let him control that himself. Back up to 26. He'll hit me down to 22.
Well played.
Thanks.
I appreciate that. Well played.
I don't emote very often. Usually I squelch the other player recently because snarky players on the ladder like to be all snarky the entire time you play.
What now? For the war chief!
There's a 4-3. That's 8 damage to my face. That's 12 damage to my face. At least I have an Iceblock up. And I have a second Iceblock here. So you're going to become a sheep. You're going to die. And I've noticed he hasn't killed this yet because he probably thinks that I have a duplicate up. Maybe. I'm not sure. Maybe he's just playing it a little bit differently than what I expect. And that too is fine. Turn 9, here we go. I expect her to get mortal struck. He's gonna be able to do damage to her somehow and do mortal strike. I can almost assure you that. Huh. Well.
I bring life.
We're gonna go offensively. He's gonna end up killing Alexstrasza. If not, he's in trouble next round. If he drops something large, it's done. He's already lost that. So good to have this in your hand.
I wonder.
Since the first 3 rounds or so. Because you know if he drops something huge, it's got a good big board presence, you can just clear it. But it's got to have 7 or higher is the thing. A couple priest cards that are a little bit better. They do 5 or higher.
What now?
And he's trying to figure out what his next move is. And while we wait, feel free to check out our blogs weekly at victorsanctum.com. We do blogs on all the Blizzard IPs for PvP. We give our personal views and opinions, as well as check out our podcast that we do weekly. You can find us on iTunes and Stitcher now as well. So, looks like that's what he's doing here. And we're going to drop this.
I will mourn your death.
He can do 3 damage next round. Plus if he has anything else that can do charge. But I've got an Iceblock and one in my hand. And he chose to do 5 damage. And he thinks he's got me here.
True Northrend!
He sure does.
My sincerest apologies.
And you don't have me. At all. And he can't kill me this round. He's not going to kill me next round either because of the Iceblock. And at this point, I have complete board control. More often than not, you don't get people to quit. But sometimes you do. And there you go. There's some very interesting ways to which you can play this deck and be able to understand it a little bit. It's interesting to pick apart. It does require, as I had mentioned before, some legendaries that you may or may not have. And in my opinion, Alexstrasza is absolutely indispensable in a lot of decks. Especially when you get late rounds and you get her early, and you can just plan on board clear, and then on the 9th round drop this, or if you have Tharasan out, drop her earlier, get the person down to 15 health, they go on defensive, plus there's an 8-8 on the board, and it really does help a lot. I actually have a mage deck that I've got 2 Pyroblasts and Alexstrasza, and that's pretty much my kill tactic. And it also has the Archmage, too. But yep, this is the deck list, and feel free to use it. It's a pretty good deck to play with. This is really good for crawling the ladder. All the games are very long and drawn out, so if you're not a big fan of long games, you do not want to play this deck. But if you want a chance to win more than you're going to lose, except for the only downside to that is I seem to lose every time that I get 2 to 3 wins and start to go on a win streak. So I lose all my momentum. But thank you very much for tuning in, and I will check back at another time, maybe with some other decks. Maybe talk about some of the other decks that you saw on the list right there.